How are your legs today? Can you still move as lightly as you did when you were young? Or do they now often feel heavy compared to before? The function of the legs plays a very important role in extending our lifespan. In our healthy lives, the legs act like the pillars of a house. Especially, as the saying goes, healthy aging begins with strong legs. It is no exaggeration to say that after the age of 60, the quality of life depends on leg health. Many of you may think, I'm still fine, I'm still young. However, did you know that among all the body parts, the legs are actually the very first to begin aging? Waking up in the morning to go to the bathroom, shopping at the grocery store, strolling through Central Park with your grandchildren. These small but precious daily activities are only possible if you have strong legs. But as we get older, our legs become weaker, and what's more serious is the decline in bone strength. Above all, protecting leg health is a matter of utmost importance that determines the rest of our lives. Today, I would like to talk about diet, which is just as important as exercise when it comes to leg health. Did you know that among the foods we eat every day, some of them surprisingly accelerate leg aging? If you keep eating them without knowing, even the effects of all your hard exercise could be wasted. From now on, let's take a closer look at the 5 foods that can rapidly speed up the aging of your legs. Some of these foods may already be sitting on your dining table this very moment. Foods that, without you realizing, threaten not only your leg health but also your very life. 1. Instant noodles. Do you ever eat instant noodles just to avoid skipping a meal or to quickly solve dinner? Mary Johnson, age 67, lived alone in Chicago and relied on instant noodles for most of her meals. They're cheap, tasty, and convenient, she laughed. But one day, something shocking happened. While climbing the stairs of her apartment, she tripped on a small step and fell. The result was a fractured hip. A bone density test revealed that Mary's bone density was 30% lower than the average for her age. Instant noodles can be very dangerous for the leg health of older adults. The problem lies in phosphorus. Instant noodle soup powder contains large amounts of phosphate, making phosphorus levels extremely high. Phosphorus is indeed important for bone health alongside calcium, but excessive intake has the opposite effect. It blocks calcium absorption and harms bones. Mary decided to cut instant noodles down to once a week, and on other days she switched to vegetable soup or simple home-cooked meals. As she did this, her leg condition noticeably improved. One small change in meals built up day by day, turning into weekly and monthly effects, creating a big difference in her health. 2. Sweet breads, cream buns, coffee cakes, red bean buns. Do you enjoy bread as a breakfast or snack? It's convenient and tasty, but for older adults, it can be a very dangerous food. Robert Martinez, 65, from Los Angeles, once worked in a bakery and made it his routine to eat 2 or 3 freshly baked buns every morning. Cream buns, coffee cakes, sweet rolls, they were all so delicious. But 3 years ago, he faced a serious problem. His weight increased by 15 kilograms in just 1 year, and suddenly he began suffering from severe knee pain. Tests showed that his knee cartilage was badly damaged, and doctors warned that if this continued, he might not be able to walk. An even more serious case is James Brown, age 73. For years, his daily breakfast was sweet bread with coffee. But now, knee pain prevents him from even going to the park. Bread has 2 major problems. First, nutritional imbalance. Bread contains almost no vitamins, minerals, or dietary fiber needed to maintain bones and muscles. Instead, it is loaded with sugar and fat. Second, rapid weight gain. After 60, metabolism slows significantly. The same amount of food leads to faster weight gain, and excess weight places tremendous stress on the knees. Did you know that walking puts 2 to 3 times your body weight on your knees, and climbing stairs puts as much as 6 to 7 times? The hopeful news is that simply reducing bread intake can make a huge difference. James Brown limited his sweet bread to once a week and instead ate brown rice, salad, and fruit. As a result, he lost weight, his knee pain improved, and, most importantly, he could once again play energetically with his grandchildren. 3. Alcohol. Do you consider an evening drink one of life's pleasures? John Smith, a 71-year-old retired high school teacher in Boston, had the habit of drinking every evening, a routine that continued even after retirement. This should be fine, maybe it's even good for me, he thought. But one day, something unexpected happened. His legs suddenly gave out, and he collapsed. The test results were shocking. His leg muscle mass was 40% less than average for his age. Alcohol not only drastically reduces the secretion of hormones that build muscles but also increases the secretion of hormones that break muscles down. Among athletes, this fact is well known, which is why serious bodybuilders often avoid alcohol entirely. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, the recommended safe limit is less than 40 g of alcohol per day for men and less than 20 g for women. Low-risk drinking standards suggest no more than 5 drinks per week for men and 2.5 for women. However, recent research shows that even 1 or 2 daily drinks accelerate muscle loss and increase the risk of cancers such as oral cancer, esophageal cancer, breast cancer, and liver cancer. For this reason, since 2016, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services has also recommended avoiding even light daily drinking for cancer prevention. David Wilson, age 78 and still healthy, now practices alcohol moderation. He keeps 3 alcohol-free days each week, and when he does drink, he limits himself to 1 glass of wine or a small beer after dinner. As a result, he still enjoys hiking twice a week. 4. Sugary drinks and sweetened juice. Do you crave a sweet drink when you're thirsty? That small habit may cause serious damage to your leg blood vessels and muscles. High fructose syrup triggers inflammation in blood vessels, damaging their function. This weakens the valves in the veins, leading to blood reflux and stagnation. When blood flow is blocked, the legs cannot receive sufficient oxygen and nutrients, causing muscles to weaken rapidly. Take the case of Charles Lee, age 72, from Texas. He drank a liter of juice every day until one morning his toes turned purple. He required emergency surgery, and the doctor said that if left untreated, amputation might have been necessary. Charles made a positive change. He cut out juice entirely and replaced it with barley tea or warm water. At first, it was unsatisfying, but soon the swelling in his legs disappeared, and now he walks more than 5,000 steps daily. Warm tea, in particular, also promotes circulation. 5. Fatty meats. Do you love richly marbled steak or fatty cuts of meat? Unfortunately, these can be extremely dangerous. George Anderson, 68, a longtime butcher in New York, always said, "Fat is the soul of flavor." But last year, something strange happened. One morning, he felt tingling and severe pain in his toes. Tests showed his leg arteries were extremely hardened, and blood flow was very poor. Doctors warned that if left untreated, amputation might be necessary. Eating fatty meat high in saturated fat and cholesterol causes pathological changes in blood vessel walls. Small vessels become blocked, cutting off blood supply to the legs and feet. Without enough oxygen and nutrients, muscle weakness becomes severe. Foods to be especially cautious about include fatty cuts such as short ribs, pork belly, bacon, and sausages, as well as fried foods and baked goods made with butter and margarine. At first, George felt tortured by giving up his favorite meats, but within a month of switching to lean cuts, such as beef round, pork tenderloin, and chicken breast, and eating more fish, he noticed remarkable changes. His legs felt warmer, the tingling disappeared, and he regained strength climbing stairs. Conclusion. So far, we have discussed 5 foods that accelerate leg aging: instant noodles, sweetbreads, alcohol, sugary drinks, and fatty meats. If you habitually consume these foods, why not start changing little by little today? Once lost, leg function is very difficult to regain, but prevention is possible. It is never too late. Begin with just one small change tomorrow morning. Over time, small steps will naturally turn into lasting habits. That small effort for tomorrow will brighten and strengthen the rest of your life. Thank you very much for watching until the end.